Welcome back, everyone, to the BedTaku Podcast, where we talk. Well, oh my!
All right, I'm doing the intro.
Okay, you just have to reword it a little.
Oh wait, I was joking. Do you
Nope,
want me to
nope.
intro?
It's good.
Okay. I should not joke.
Oh yeah, and so just replace my name with your name.
Oh yeah, man, easy. I gotta put some levels to my voice right now because it's just super monotone. 3, 2, 1, go. Os, welcome to BedTaku, where we drink tea, talk weeb, and then pass out. I'm Ya. Everyone introduce themselves.
Oh wait, no, you're supposed to introduce us. What?
No,
You have to like enjoying us. Joining me today is blank and blank.
I'm the
and
host,
then-
Ya, and joining us today is Naveed, the one and only, and BedTaku, who will occasionally
name's
be playing
BedTaku.
guitar music.
No man, we're going with
Talk music.
Matthew's Korean name for. Me and Hunbin did a poll. It appeals to the.
안녕하세요.
What
Yeah.
happened to actually starting the podcast? Now we're just,
Yeah, it is. All right, so the
I
thing, so
digress.
it's gonna be like welcome back, and after you say both our names, it's
Okay.
me and Matthew are gonna say hi.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So we're officially starting at this time.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Also, welcome to BedTaku, where we drink tea, talk weeb, and then pass out. I'm the host, Ya, and joining me today will be Matthew and Naveed.
So,
Hello.
So today we're going to be talking about relationships because just recently we had Valentine's over February, and I'm pretty sure all you lonely guys out there have lovely stories from Valentine's Day. So the first question is, what is an anime relationship you aspire to have? It is going to be Naveed and his aspirations.
Wait, what? I'm not supposed to go.
I'm resident
I mean,
sleeper.
it looks
You
like
go. You want me to go? I'll
Like,
go.
I actually haven't thought of this yet.
Okay.
We can cut this part out. We good.
Since I'm the
Since I'm
so
the host.
starting off this question, I'd like to mention a recent anime that I've been watching, Darling in the Franxx, which some of you might know, though I feel that a lot of you might not, since I hear that not a lot of people like mecha anime. But
May I
Basically-
interject?
yes, you may interject, Matthew.
Okay, I've been hearing about Darling in the Franxx a lot, but I have not seen anything of it. No screenshots, no GIFs, no little clips on YouTube talking about what the Darling in the Franxx is. So, what are you talking about?
Okay, so I will only be talking about the romance aspect of it, and we'll try to avoid spoilers. However, Darling in the Franxx is centered around a demon girl and a young boy who has nowhere to go because he lost his partner. So the basis of the story is that they must defend humanity against creatures with mechas that can only be piloted by a girl and a boy. So the demon girl, outcasted by everyone around her because she is an experiment that is not human nor fully monster either, leaving her very lonely and constantly fighting alone. While the man recently lost his own partner and has no more reason to live, but still wishes to serve his country. And I'd like to talk about this beautiful relationship they have with each other of like, they can't exist alone without each other. They're basically tied together by a bond that's unbreakable because if they are alone without each other, then they're half of a person basically. And I really enjoyed this type of theme because it made me think about how relationships in general usually last longer and are much more valuable when the couple goes through hardships, because when you go through hardships, you band together and face a larger problem and just learn to accept the small problems you have with each other instead of slowly building up tolerance instead, which is what I see happen a lot in relationships, is that many couples who don't have much going on in their life, high school couples who just date out every once in a while and cuddle, they start to build up tolerance for each other, just kind of tolerating each other's problems and existences without directly dealing with them. And I feel like Darling in the Franxx, with what it's talking about, true reliance through hardship and sacrifice, is what really builds a beautiful relationship. Your thoughts?
Well, dang, okay. First off, thanks for the good introduction to what Darling in the Franxx is. I don't have to look up anything now. I can probably just dive in. Secondly, okay, well, that's a lot of stuff to...
Yeah, talk about an anime relationship that you truly enjoyed or want to have happen in your life.
Okay, well, honestly, a lot of the relationships in anime I see that are meant to be romantic are not nearly as healthy as the ones that I see that aren't romantic. So I don't really aspire to have any particular anime-esque relationship, but I do feel that some relationships within anime that aren't particularly like romantic are pretty good. I could probably talk about those.
Sure,
if that
that
makes
sounds
any
nice.
sense.
Go for it.
All right. Well, I love Gintama. Gintama's a great show, right?
Rep.
And the thing I like about one of the things I like about it is that the three main characters, the Odd Jobs crew, none of them have any romantic aspirations towards each other, but have yet found themselves in this mutual relationship where they still deeply care for each other and would willingly just spend time with each other outside of work. Always. Because not only are they just workers, but they're also friends. And I really like how that the main characters of a series doesn't have to have a relationship to be like carrying their character relationships throughout the entire show. Because I feel like shows that do that necessarily completely fall apart or lose a lot of focus once some kind of traction gets going and they've like leave out the relationship portion of it completely because it was like a big part of the show beforehand. I don't know. That's one thing I like. if that's related to this at all.
I think that's actually really related. I mean, it's kind of like before someone is your spouse or husband, before they're your girlfriend, they're your best friend. They're someone you should be able to confide in and just like spend a good time with.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, some people take the opposite approach to it. They don't want to become friends first. They either want to know, like, just dive straight into the relationship.
Oh yeah, like love at first sight.
Do you believe it exists?
I personally don't. However, a good representation of this would be Nisekoi, and yeah, you can see how well that turned out.
I feel like I have no right speaking on any of these subjects, especially when it comes to like relationships and such, because I don't really have many.
You're speaking to a virgin who has never talked to a girl. Actually, yeah, I've never had a girlfriend in my life.
Oh, well, huh?
Yeah.
Welcome to the BedTaku Podcast, everybody.
Because Valentine's Day, and obviously the ramblings of a virgin is the most reliable source of information, considering romance.
Oh.
What were we even doing Valentine's Day? I'm pretty sure I was in a call with you on Valentine's Day. Oof.
That is indeed extremely romantic. No homo.
Why was that an oof?
Not the ideal Valentine's Day.
But it certainly is a good day to crack a cold one with the boys.
With the boys. Crack open the coldest one with the boys.
Hell yeah.
So going back to your Darling in the Franxx, and I guess this can also apply to Gintama. Is it feasible to have that type of relationship in the real world?
I definitely believe it's possible nowadays, but because we live in this like first world country and we take a lot of things for granted, it gets easy to get fed up with a lot of small things in life, which is where we hear the term like first world problems come from. People complaining about their Starbucks and such. And that applies to relationships too, where we get fed up with other people over really small things and it builds up into these huge things when it wasn't really anything big at all. But I do believe it's definitely possible because, like, even in first world country, there's economic strife and, like, just emotional pain and problems. And, like, if you can get through harsh times with someone who's dear to you, then I definitely believe you can come out stronger and more bonded than before. Like, let's say you're going... I don't really have an example at hand because I have zero experiences in my life. But yeah,
yeah, man, you're talking to the choir right here.
Yeah, talking to the choir.
Preaching to that choir.
But hey, man, it's our perspective that often gets lost. So, gotta give people different perspectives.
Yeah, I do have an example now that you give me a little time. It's kind of fantasical and probably not exactly real. But let's say, like, you have kind of middle, lower class people, a guy and a girl, and they're in kind of like university doing part-time jobs every once in a while. And I feel that small moments like going to a concert together or like stacking up both of your money to go to a date and completely burning it out just for a small fun time makes those moments so much more beautiful because it's something you built together. And then, like, gathering the courage and the strength to get through a university education and any of the emotional strife and drama that comes with, just living in a society with teenagers. Though I don't know what that'd be like since I don't experience it much. Those are things that you can possibly go through as hardships to create a stronger bond, I guess.
Would you advise, like, people, like, let's say, for example, the example you're using, people in college, barely scraping by to be in a relationship with someone? Or should their focuses be somewhere else?
It really depends on your personality because I know people who value success more than happiness in their life, or people who think that, success brings happiness, and people who value happiness over success. And I feel like if you're the type who falls in the latter, happiness is your main goal in life, then you usually end up with this mentality of like, just ride the wave of life and do the things you love. And in that case, I definitely recommend it. Like, if you have someone that you love so much that you would go through these hardships with them together, then you should definitely do it because, college is just a one-time thing in your life. It's just a small piece and a really bright moment. And then it's followed by the curse of adulthood as we all look forward to it.
Is this type of relationship something you aspire to have? Or like it is, you said, answer the question, but is it something you want right now?
I would like to have it. I'm kind of a romanticist. I like these romantic stories that are kind of unrealistic, but currently I would have to say no because personal problems, which I will not delve into since it's a podcast, but but yeah, when you settle your own problems and like you're reaching out to others, it's definitely worth it to try to find, that soulmate, if you believe in such a thing, or just someone that you're willing to spend a piece of your life with, or more, for your whole life.
Or more.
Speaking of which, how about relationships in general? How do you guys feel? Like, do you think it should be one relationship, you choose one girl, and then you get married for life? Or are you more on the side of open relationships, or even harems?
Harems.
Harems at IRL.
I'd get too jealous to be a part of a harem. I'm not gonna lie. I'm more of the mindset of choosing one person and sticking to them.
Well, I mean, personally, I got not much to say. I don't really think about these kind of things. All throughout college, what I did was like, I just like went to text message. I'm gonna ignore that for now. But
cut. All right, I'll show you.
But all throughout college, I didn't really ever seek a relationship, and the only people I ended up talking to were just friends. So like, I don't really know exactly what kind of relationship I would desire, if not one that was just similar to being good friends with somebody. Because that's just where it's at, you know? If you homies with someone, like regardless of like just who they are or who you're attracted to, if you're just homies with anyone, it's a pretty good time. Just have a good day. Just hang out, crash at their place because it's obviously way too late for you to be driving sensibly.
Oh yeah, of course.
Wake up, be like, "Hey, I got class. All right, close the door on your way out," and then just pick up whatever you left and just continue on with your life. You know. I mean, I don't really desire anything outside of that. I feel.
That is truly living the youth. Cracking cold one with the boys every day.
All right, let's just say hypothetically that you got someone like that, you know, like you got a girlfriend or something, right? How would the different social groups interact? So like, how would your parents react to you versus like your close friends, acquaintances,
Whoa.
strangers?
This is. All right, who's going first on this one?
Should I lead again?
I mean, I felt like I'll go since my answer is short.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, firstly, my parents would be ecstatic. They've been asking for me to go date someone for like years. They'd be like, finally, our son found somebody.
Now, would it make a difference if they're Korean or not to your family?
Oh, like I feel like in the beginning it might, because they're always telling me you gotta date and you gotta marry someone Korean, and I'm
Gotta
like,
keep the gene. You gotta keep the Korean genes.
I mean, that's indirectly. I feel like that's what they're saying. Like, I felt like from their sensibilities, it's more of like a culture thing. They'll have less trouble understanding who you are if they come from the same background, basically. But like, I feel like if I were to find someone who was not Korean and just like, you know, just whoever I happen to fall in love with, and they'd be okay with it in the end. The other side, though, like whoever they're friends with, I'm not too sure. My friends all want me to get like somebody that I could share my love with or something, so they'd be super happy too. But I'm not so sure for the other end. Oof.
That's respectable. Going for the American dream.
The American dream.
Now it's interesting that you say someone you love. Is that you want to love someone first before you become in a relationship with them?
Well, I mean, I feel like that's how you gotta be. I don't know much other relationships besides just acquaintances and friends and close friends, but like, I feel like you just gotta know someone before you decide to like fully love someone, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my father's a big dude with love at first sight, but it's never happened to me, so it just doesn't seem feasible.
Yeah, man. I respect that. I mean, best friend before girlfriend.
Yeah. Like, I've got nothing to say on these things, man. Like, it's just the standard answers.
I mean, it's completely fine. We're just kind of doing a test run, but
Yeah.
I feel like your archetype would definitely be the rare anime where the MC chooses the childhood friend, you know?
Huh.
You relate? Yeah?
Well, I mean, if any, like, it's more realistic than, boom, someone popped into my life 2 days later. Yeah, it's destiny. We're gonna get married. Like, it's
Okay.
it's not.
What if they
realistic.
played Melee though, and they're better than you at Melee?
So that'd be great. Like,
You don't think you would fall in love? Like, boom.
Well, I mean, I go to a tournament and I go 0-2, so technically everyone there is better than me. I can't say that I've fallen in love with the entirety of the tournament population.
Ooh.
Wait, but what percent is a girl at the Melee tournaments? Like, less than 1?
Now that you mention it, I don't see like anybody, any woman at the
Exactly.
tournaments. It's just mostly dudes. Yeah, there's a couple girls, but like, other than just maybe like one or two at a small local where the population is like 20 people. It's not much, I guess. I don't know.
What about you? Yeah.
Oh, relationship if I got into one?
Like, yeah, how would people around you react, or how do you think they would react?
I think my parents would be definitely fine with it, but they wouldn't really intrude or ask too much because throughout my whole life, relatives are kind of just like, do what you want kind of thing mentality. Like, I'm left. They wouldn't react too much. They'd be like, oh, good for you. They'd probably joke around since I've been single my whole life as well. Friend group wise, though, well, I know you guys. That's about it. I think a lot of people would be definitely surprised if I got a girlfriend because known for my weirdness and not much else, to say the least. But yeah, my family's into multi-ethnicity. They definitely approve of me.
Good mother Scott. Okay, wait, you guys continue. I'm getting a phone call.
All right.
Wow.
Should we pause the podcast right here? Short commercial break.
All right.
I think that was good. I mean, good short run.
Rip prep. Yeah, I feel like we should do question 2 later. As in, like,
my friends, like back in high school when everyone's like discovering who they are, people would come out as like bisexual and whatnot, and they'll be like, "But what's Matthew?" Or sorry, "But what's Matthew?"
I gotta get it right.
You've never really felt romantically inclined towards anybody. Well, looks like you just might be an asexual. And I was like, whatever that means, man.
We have like different people on the spectrum, right? I'm probably more like towards the relationship side, right? As in seeking. Yeah, it's more like
center.
Yes, accepting center. And then Matthew, I mean, he's
love
like
yourself. He's
like, what is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Kempin's probably over there being like,